Hey guys, Derek here. So I know I've been posting incredibly random content. I've just been kind of throwing up, whatever I feel like tossing up at that particular time and hour. I know I'm kind of like rooted in Ironsight in a sense, since that's what I really started That's when I actually started streaming consistently and uploading consistently. Was Ironsight stuff. However, I've been branching off a lot until New World and Battlefield come out. That being said here, though, I do want to give one useful tip that I don't see, literally anyone doing, but I do very consistently. And if you've ever, tuned into the stream, you'll see, this is how I move very frequently. But I don't see anyone else really taking advantage of this movement. And this is going to be the SADSBHOP, is what we're calling this one. Most shooters, to be honest now. So, the reason why this is going to be important is because Peeker's advantage is disgustingly broken in this game, as I've ranted on a few times. You want to swing on somebody as fast as possible, and this can be a very effective way of doing that. Not to mention, you're just going to be clearing corners and just moving faster in general, and also throwing your hitbox all over the place. So here's what I mean by this. So what we're going to do for our first test here, we're going to ADS and just strafe left, as if we're going to be shooting these bots, let's say. So at the timer at the top, let's wait for it to hit 8:10, for instance. And I'm just going to start strafing. Actually, let's do it this way. That way I can see where I'm going. So now let's start at 8:05. Let's start at 8. Let's just start on even 8, okay? So I'm in here, and I'm going to go all the way to the end strip, okay? Now, this is somewhat unfair because I'm hitting train tracks, but you'll get the general idea. Okay, so let's go to this brick here. Let's get into this train track. Okay, so 748, 749. Okay, so that's if you're strafing an ADS. So imagine you're clearing out lanes and stuff like that, right? Plus you're only... I'll explain another thing why this is useful later. So we had the timestamp there. So let's start on 730 here. Let's get back in the train track. Not gonna lie, I don't remember the previous time. Okay, so 723 or so that I even cleared the train track. So that's what we're gonna call the sprint B-hop. Okay, so how we're doing this first off is you get to start off your sprint. So you can see at the bottom right my stamina, right? And obviously jumping takes a bit of stamina away too. But you're only sprinting for a split second. So you basically sprint, jump, ADS, sprint, jump, ADS, and if you do it fast enough, you basically don't break your ADS. So if I'm doing a ADS and I sprint, I come out of ADS, right? So if you do this and just keep jumping, you're barely making any progress, right? But if I sprint to B-hop, and if you time your ADS right, you see how I'm basically not even coming out of ADS? Maybe a couple times just because I'm messing up my timing. But that's me sprinting and re-clicking as soon as I hit the ground and jump, basically. So for games that are this fast-paced and arcade-style shooter, for Counter-Strike and Ironsight both, I jump with scroll wheel. I don't use the space bar, and that's so I can get into a rhythm of swiping it, basically, when I'm clearing stuff, right? So this whole sprint ADS B-hop is going to be really useful for LMGs because, one, you're moving slower anyways, right? Compared to SMG or AR. So, if I'm going to, strafe down to this guy, again, like I said, the timing, right? And I wanted to clear out a corner. So obviously the benefit of this is you're silent. But if it's a secure point and everyone's just kind of everywhere, doing something like this, you're going to be able to clear out spots. Not only that, and this is what I said I was going to touch on later, I'm going to touch on it now, is you can do it kind of directionally. So I can sprint forward but then turn sideways, right? I can turn whichever way I want while doing this. So if I want to keep moving straight, I can sprint and kind of keep checking back, as opposed to just kind of doing this. So I can still sprint forwards and keep moving in one direction and keep looking back. So that's the sprint B-hop. I just wanted to put this out there because I don't see enough people taking advantage of the movement. So you can kind of practice your timing on this and I basically don't come out of ADS. It might be a little bit. I never unbound that middle mouse click to grenade. But if you time it right, you're basically not coming out of ADS. So something to try, right? But it might take a little bit of getting used to. But like the timer set at the top there, you're going to be moving a lot faster while you're ADS in a game where peeker advantage is so broken. You may as well take advantage of that to, like, let's say this guy's an enemy here and I come around and do this with an LMG. My peeker advantage isn't going to be as strong as if I did that, right? Obviously, you see a lot of people jump around corners at people like that because you're moving faster, so it's obviously useful to do. But if you just you can kind of keep going with it if you're clearing stuff out. That way you still get your speed, even if they weren't where you checked. So that's just something to try to check out. Use it on your SMGs, use it on ARs. LMGs is what I wanted to show because of how slow the movement is versus the sprint movement. So don't want to ramble too much, but if you can add this to your movement arsenal, let's say, messing up all my timing there. It's something useful to try to get the hang of. And if you've seen any of my streams, you might see that I do that movement pretty frequently. It's incredibly useful too going upstairs. So you move up the stairs. If you can time it, you just have to you jump faster, obviously, because you're meeting a level of elevation. So you sprint, scroll, ADS, and you can go upstairs very fast if you do that way too. Like useful in Mart when you're like going up the stairs of Burger and you want to keep ADS, but you want to get up there as fast as possible. Yeah, I don't mean to carry this on too long, but that's the ADS SBHOP, let's say. All right, thanks. Bye for now, guys.